Greetings, you
What's
wild
up?
and weirdos and weirdettes out there in wild and weird radio land and beyond, probably on the Mars and maybe even on the space station or what is it?
Possibly wild and
Possibly,
weird worldwide.
possibly the secret space program shuttle thing. I don't know. Is that too much? Maybe,
What's going
possibly.
on, everybody? I'm getting everybody's names right now. We got in the house. We've got the Deuster, first one in the house. What is going on, Deuster? Good to have you in here, brother.
There he is. There he is.
Jing Clower, what's up,
Jin Jin.
sister? How you been? Then we got Oz in the Woods is in the house. Chris
Oz.
Coots is in the house and early
Chris.
again this week.
Hey,
oh my
early.
gosh, Chris, are you feeling okay, buddy? Oh man, can't wait to get back out on the road and see you again, man. It's been too long. We got Theresa Racer of Teresa's
Teresa.
Haunted History of the Tri-State. She's hanging out with us right here. We got Jimbo down at Spooky Appalachia. Then Nikki Bennett's in the house. What's up? Larry Hose. What's going on, brother? Ada Cox, Nancy White. You guys like I say your names like that because I'm so used to just saying them. That's the order they're in the production notes is Ada Cox and Nancy White. Then we've got Beth Duncan's here on time.
Hey,
Fish
Beth.
Belly, as always. Good to have you, brother. Lisa Beard. What's going on? Tommy Swiger. We've got
Swiger.
Scott
I
Holbrook.
told
What's
you
up,
his
brother?
name's Swiger.
Jeff Byers. Is this you, Geoffrey?
What?
That's a cloned account. It's not real. That's a cloned account.
Then we've got that's it. That's everybody that's talking. And I know there's way more because there we go. There we go. Greetings,
There's our
primates. My
Men in
favorite people in the
Black.
house,
There they
as
are.
always, the Men in Black.
Yep.
Finding the trackway, sneaking in a little late. You're only
Trackway
3
sneaking
minutes
in.
late. It's better than last week. You showed up halfway through the show. We'll forgive you though.
It's not bad.
And then we've got Milton Pope finally made it at the start of a show. Look
Way
at
to go,
you, man. We're
Milton.
so proud.
Way to go. Well, this show.
CJ
and all
Boker.
shows,
From
Our-
Kansas City, is that right? Or
Kansas.
KS, Kansas?
I think so.
Not Kansas City.
We're going to roll our.
We've got Jackie down here from the Men in Black. Oh, the Men in Black sent somebody over. Oh, another informant.
hiding from the Men in Black, actually.
Oh, hiding from Men in Black.
Yeah, probably not the place you want to be tonight. We got a feeling they're gonna monitor this one, probably.
Probably. So, how's everybody been?
Sick. I've been sick. Thank you.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Brandon?
I'm good. I'm getting better.
Just tired.
I hear you.
I
It's
was tired
it's
too, but
it's been a long week, man. Like Ash, the little guy, he's cutting molars, and that's always the funnest time in the world.
yeah. No, it's not.
Oh man, so we've got a pretty interesting show. Oh well, yeah, we've got our new lineup here. This show is free thanks to our executive producers, Adam Good. Where is he, by the way? He hasn't popped in.
All right. Hang on.
L.W. Marshall, Theresa of Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State, Larry Hose, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, Tommy Swiger, Pat, our amazing and the rest of all of our amazing super chatters, the Deuster himself, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Jimbo down there in Southwest Virginia. I keep screwing that up. Guitarchains, Craig, Travis Aurednik at the Deep End Antique, Geoffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, BigfootLittlefoot, Terri, Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, and Julie Bug, Finding the Trackway, Donna Ho, Angie Breeden, Jen Clower, Jamie Snell, Ike Fauber, and Ashely Hilt of On Wednesdays We Talk Weird.
There we go. Yeah. All right. I sent out the APBs on our folks.
Well, Adam popped in there. Look here, Joe. There's Adam.
Joe can't
Adam's
see
here.
me.
What's going on, buddy?
There we go. All right. Well, folks, wow, good turnout.
Oz in the Woods says, sorry, many of you aren't feeling well. Wishing you quick recoveries.
Oh, thanks. I've raised my vibrational frequencies at this point. I'm either going to get better or I'm just going to transform into a ball of light. Someone
And
think I'm an orb.
Miss Trackway is on with us tonight as well. So,
So, folks,
Funding's wife has joined us. What's going on?
how many of you guys watched or listened to last week's podcast? Foggy Fairmont. Yes, it's extremely foggy. If you guys haven't noticed, it looks like London out there.
Yeah, with all this fog we've got rolling in from the weird temperatures and snow melt off, it's been nuts. There's like, I think 40 foot visibility right now.
Oh, it was ridiculous today. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. All throughout the day, fog. Just amazing. Looks like clouds over the valley. It was incredible. It's probably some kind of chemical that there's no. It's not. It's fog, guys. It's just fog. But anyway, so how many of you guys listened to last week's actual podcast, the cryptid episode? You guys remember that one?
I know Lisa and Larry, they were in the chat in the live when it went up.
Okay. Pop this over here. Anyway, it got some really good reviews. It got some really good questions and whatnot during the thing. And then all of a sudden, everything just went down. If you were there, you know this. We don't know what happened. So just want to update you on that. We don't know. We think there might have been a server glitch on their end, not ours. We just know everything went down.
Theresa says, just like that blue cloud over Charleston was nothing. Anyone remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. But yeah, so if you have any questions about that show, please feel free to ask, because we didn't get to have our our usual Q&A during that.
Yeah, it just kind of collapsed, and it was different experiences for different people. I know with me, it kicked me back to a different segment of the show. Some other folks, it knocked them into a completely different show altogether. And
it threw me into a completely different universe. I came out on the other side, and everybody was like wearing this little goatee.
Men in Black, it was definitely a server glitch and not us.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Scott says, I listened when I got internet back.
See, even knocked his internet out. So we don't know what happened, guys. It's just
So Ada got completely kicked off.
Kicked out. Now, what happened to me was it started playing an entirely different video. I went back and it said, this premiere has ended. And I'm like, oh, okay. What? And yeah.
It was a timeline change, huh?
No, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. Everybody was thinking about, I don't know what they were thinking about collectively. I believe we were talking about Skinwalker Ranch at the time it went down. So maybe. Could be something like that. But I will say this. That was a good show. We had some good questions that we were addressing in that show. You know, the whole Mothman not being a cryptid thing. I figured that was going to cause a lot of turmoil, but it really didn't. People seemed to enjoy it. And contrary to most things that we talk about, we actually went up in subscribers. Thank you, guys. Welcome, new subscribers. I hope you enjoy this show as much as we enjoy having you. I'm just drinking tea. You don't mind me. Yeah, so we have interesting development that's going on. If you don't know, maybe you do know. I don't know.
The boxing gloves have been thrown on.
Boy, it got weird this week. It got really weird this week.
A little wild and weird will help me convalesce. Update on the 2024 flu virus. You don't want it. Oh man, LW. I'm sorry. That's a bummer.
Yep. I know a few that has it right now. So, yep. You guys keep your head down. Yeah, like and share, like Adam said, please like, share, all that fun stuff, so we can get those metrics up. We had some interesting news this week, and that was that apparently before David Grush gets to say his piece, Sean Kirkpatrick got to come out and say his piece.
We're just going to call him Sean Crackshot Kirkpatrick.
Oh, boy. Right? Yeah.
He had his own little OP, which was essentially a smear campaign, right?
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
basically.
I mean, I'm not going to read into it. I'm going to let you actually see it for yourself. But he basically says now, um, let's see, where is it at? It's right here.
Donna, what's going on?
You know, contrary to what we were told before, I remember the the briefing, the meeting, and whatnot. He actually says that, of course, there's no indication that these things are extraterrestrial. We're probably just chasing drones around, which is interesting.
What
But
isn't this kind of like a rollback of his own claims as he was exiting?
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. As he was leaving, he actually said, you know, he thought this would be our best bet at finding some form of extraterrestrial intelligence, etc. But what's really interesting about it is he said that AARO's job was not proving the existence of UFOs, but, quote, minimizing technical and intelligent surprises. This is funny because I'm pretty sure he told us that the mission of AARO was to create somebody else's problem. And isn't that kind of how it went? Like, to push this off on someone else? Because that's what he always said. He said that they weren't trying to really find anything. They were just trying to find enough to basically do their job, I think is what it came down to.
Yeah. And Octopus brings up a good point here. I just want the public to learn that the intel agencies are corrupt and actually in control of the government, not our elected officials. People need to wake up.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Bow! First one of the night.
Let's have It's a $2 super sticker blessing for Theresa Racer right there.
Thanks, Theresa. Keeping
you,
it free
Theresa.
for eons and eons to come.
Right there. That's
Jolie Bugs in the house.
Jolie. Welcome, Jolie. Welcome. We're talking about the gatekeepers and the secret whatever that's going on with the whole UFO phenomena right now, and it's pretty nuts. So here's he showed up on CNN. He showed up on several other things. Like he's out there now. Whereas he wasn't talking at all. Now he's free. He's retired, so he can go talk about it, right? Almost like it wasn't planned. He says what is more likely that an adversary has come up with new technology, or we have extraterrestrials. I mean, with that kind of logic,
Yeah, right.
you know, because what's he doing? He's quoting the Sagan stuff right there. That's what he's doing. That's what that was.
He is. He's the new Carl Sagan.
Yeah, he thinks he's the new Carl Sagan, and that's sad. It's really sad. What did the Men in Black say?
Men in Black says, to be fair, we were purposely vague in the job description about what he was supposed to be doing.
That's probably going to be the best comment of the night. Here's the thing. What in the world
What is
happened?
going on? Well, we got shifted to the 3 tile here, and I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. I know what you're doing. Here. There you go.
Adam Good.
It's super blessings to Adam Good, 1999. Super blessing right there for you, brother. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated, brother.
So much. Thank yous for that.
LW says, I still can't get the super chat to work. I saw Spooky said he was having issues with his earlier too. You might need to actually close your browser and update it. Like just by closing it, it'll and then relaunch it and come back onto YouTube and see what that does.
I'm not sure how that works. Anyway, so drones.
Nancy said they took it away from her account as well. So there's a few people having some issues out there. Deuster. Since sky jellies are back in the news
Sky
again.
jellies. That's right. Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's true. That's
Here
true.
comes the fever dreams.
So Kirkpatrick basically gets to go out and start saying stuff, is what we come down to. And like you said, he's the new Sagan, and he actually kind of said it right there. It's the whole extraordinary, whatever claims. They require extraordinary evidence, which they don't. They require just as much evidence as any other claim, technically.
Mhm.
But that's one of the things. Well, apparently, Let's find this. Our old buddy Travis Taylor
Oh, yeah.
got involved.
The redneck rocketeer, baby.
And yeah, I challenge you not to read this in an Alabama accent. Here you go. Here's Travis.
Travis says, first, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on. Well, firstly, quoting Carl Sagan is an immense detriment to any topic. He was wrong in almost every sense of the word and is self-admitted to lying about a lot of it. Nuclear winter was a political farce. I met Sagan up close and personal when I was 17. He was a jerk, to be very kind. Worthless human being in my mind. Now that this nonsense of extraordinary claims requiring extraordinary evidence, neither that phrase nor any of those words show up in the scientific method. By making Saganistic statements, you immediately bias the experiment and method used, that you are saying that you will be throwing out any and all unextraordinary data and evidence. Whereas with the scientific method, all the data goes on the table. It's investigated and analyzed. In order to find substantiating evidence, you have to actually look. AARO, Arrow, was a farce to shovel the manure back into the manufacturer, and the public doesn't realize it. I find it very interesting how Sean Kirkpatrick goes on to the scientific method, or goes on to Scientific America. That's who published the article. And immediately there's an article claiming, hey, everybody, go back to work because there's nothing to see here. While myself and many, many others are railroaded at peer review with papers that don't even mention UFOs. Roll Tide.
And here's what Sean has to say back to Taylor.
It's ridiculous, guys. I'm going to kind of paraphrase this. So Travis Taylor, that pretty much proves my point rather than produce any verifiable and repeatable evidence. He goes on to talk about how while you may not admire Sagan and the adage within the as within scientific doctrine, if not spelled out in the method, searches for such things as the existence of the Higgs boson, i.e. the God particle, and quantum entanglement require extraordinary evidence. It's a matter of your definition. And that right there, it's he's trying to justify what he said. And these things really didn't require extraordinary evidence. They hypothesized that these things were there, and then they found them. It wasn't extraordinary evidence. It was like, oh yeah, hey, look, here it is.
No, they hypothesized, they conducted experiments, and then they proved they were there. And that's exactly what they should be doing with this, rather than saying, oh, it don't exist, so we're not even going to look at it.
So this whole extraordinary evidence thing regarding the Higgs boson and quantum entanglement, that wasn't extraordinary evidence. It was literally the scientific method of form a hypothesis, run the tests, prove the theory, or disprove the theory, which in those cases they did. It's just
either way, he says it's a conspiracy-laden accusation.
Yes.
And it detracts from the serious endeavors. Perhaps you're saying that the American people don't deserve evidence of the incredulous accusations and should take it with the mediocre evidence. I never said there was nothing to see here, but rather what is to be seen may not be what you think. Why leap to extraterrestrials when there are many other more salient explanations? Well,
which is Occam's razor.
What's funny here, and Travis because they keep going at it. Travis's response to that pretty much says what it needs to be said.
Travis comes back and he says, I didn't name call or character attack. Don't put that on me. I pointed out that Carl Sagan's most coveted contributions were later proven to be total nonsense, and that the guy proved himself to an entire hometown in front of thousands to be a jerk. I also never used the word extraterrestrial, which he did not.
Nope.
I have only ever stated that there were a few possible solutions. 1, near peers have leapfrogged us. 2, Oligarchs have leapfrogged us. And 3, Mother Nature is doing something that we've never measured before. 4, something from elsewhere, else when, I didn't claim anything extraordinary. I merely generated categories of solution sets. And I might add, the IC pressed hard to have category 4 removed from any documents.
By the way, category 4 is what we like to call subject B.
Yeah. And while, as you say, the adage is within the doctrine, that doesn't make it correct. People all the time quote Occam's razor and never get it right, as Sir William of Occam's stated it. But it is in the doctrine. The obfuscation of throwing Higgs and QE into the rebut doesn't make your point at all. They did not require extraordinary evidence. What they required was steady, stable application of the scientific method.
Which is boom, right? And I mean, how you gonna come back with that? So what does Kirkpatrick do? His final thing. This is short and sweet, and that's it.
Yep.
Oh, and I love your statement about sensationalized public sphere. Research takes funding. There is zero funding dollars in the U.S. from standard sources. So I sought funding from private and entertainment source. If you aren't Enigma or InQtel, you ain't getting the funding from IC or DOD sources.
It can't be put any more simple.
Yeah, that's what Travis had said, basically. And it's a fact. It's true. There's no way to get it. They pretty much go after Taylor and the whole Skinwalker crew. Say, oh, it's entertainment. Look, guys, they got to be entertainment. It's on TV. It's a classification for a business. That's all that is, and it is what it is. That's legal. But the truth of the matter is, they can get the funding, but Kirkpatrick couldn't really get that kind of funding. Fact.
Men in Black says, is this primate saying the new Sagan or new Satan? Because both vacancies were posted.
What's the difference? Yeah, right? What? I mean, Saganism. I got to hand it to him. That's a good term. Saganism.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So if they didn't know what they were, they would not be having hearings. The question is, what do they want us to think it is? That's right there. Fish.
Don't you know, Fish Belly? They want us to think it's something from our mythologies and from our belief systems, because that is something that people have fought about since the dawn of time. And it's okay, because as long as we can get them to argue about that kind of stuff, then they'll never look for the actual truth.
Adam Good says, you don't want a scientist ending a statement with Roll Tide. Well, just don't look at any of his doctorate degrees. I think at least one of his masters and one of his doctorates came from good old Alabama.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Travis is just an awesome guy. That's all I can say about the man.
He really is.
He is an awesome guy. I'd
love to be able to touch base with him one day and share some data.
I don't know him, but I can tell you he is the kind of person that I'm pretty sure I went to school with. Let's see what else we got here. So this all has been caught and just catching on fire. It's everywhere. It's all over. It's all over X. It's all over the subreddits. The Reddit is just blowing up with it every day, and it's within minutes. There's new stuff coming up.
Reddit is basically the new Twitter.
It's better, actually. JD Matthews, hey guys, finally got off in time for a live. Welcome, JD.
Good to have you here, man. Deucer said mic drop. Yeah, that's basically what Travis did there.
That's exactly what that was.
Julie Bug said, I feel like I need a PhD to read anything from Travis. He is definitely one of the smartest people on some of these topics. He really is.
He is, but he can also dumb it down to where anybody can understand it. And I love that.
He is one of my favorite sources when it comes to this topic, and a few engineering topics. Octopus with No Friends says, call them Saganists too.
I know. I'm telling you, he created something. He don't even know it.
I know, right?
So here's one of the interesting things that was picked up. And that would be, I think the disclosure movement has hit a nerve. I think it has hit a new low is what I think. Yeah. I think that there's some interesting stuff that's going to be happening, but it seems to have released Kirkpatrick's op-ed before they dropped Grush's upcoming one. So you guys think that that was a coincidence? Because I don't. But look here. Coincidentally, also, we also had a name drop of another private contractor recently, Northrop Grumman. We may see a ramp up in counter movement behavior, more hit pieces, both scientific and personal. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Boy, you called that one. You
Yeah.
really called that one, Richie. And let me tell you why you called that one. Well, actually, let's go over here first. Let's go to this. This is a good one. Can you see that?
Yep. Kirkpatrick versus Grush. Someone is lying.
Yeah. And you know, that's the whole thing. It's like you've got they built it to where you're going to believe Kirkpatrick because hey, I was in charge. I know. I've been told this. I've been told that. Funny thing is though, up until now you haven't said anything, and now all of a sudden you're saying stuff, and everyone's supposed to just believe you. Whereas this person made it pretty clear. Grush even said under oath in a hearing that the claims from AARO were not accurate. It's unfortunate he was not allowed to elaborate. He was being questioned by the one person present who seemed to have partisan agendas. Yes, that's true. And Kirkpatrick was caught lying at least on 3 occasions now. It's all on film. It's not hard to figure out who's lying.
Yep.
I mean, it's true. It's
Spooky
true.
Appalachia said he should get a doctrine, and it looks like he's getting ready to start him a new cult down there.
Hey, there you go, buddy. That's awesome.
LW says it's a
Excuse
lot
me.
to digest, and that is a fact.
It really
And
is.
when Ron sent me the picture of the stuff from Travis and crack shot Kirkpatrick there, I told Ron that I said this is what we need, and this is going to be a point where you're going to start seeing some of these guys go to blows with one another, because for too long everybody's been playing with kid gloves and dancing around their clearances, which I understand. I get you don't want to go beyond what your clearances and your credentials are allowing you to do. But with some of the things, especially coming out of Kirkpatrick's mouth, and he has never been a guy in since he was, as far as I can go back on his record and look, he's never been the guy that I was like, oh, this is somebody who would never stoop to like taking jabs at people.
Dude, that first time we did the play-by-play when he was, doing the during the meeting, the first, UAP meeting there, we knew what type he was. We knew what he was doing. We knew it was the Blue Book 2.0 at that point. And that's exactly what this was. But we got some really interesting other stuff, I guess, from him.
Tony Breeden says, speaking of cults, I thought we could form a local chapter of the Grush Davidians.
Grush Davidians. That's hilarious. You guys are funny. Ah, boy. But I'll have some actual links for you guys up in here after this thing goes up off from live to streaming, and you can go check these out yourself. But there's some really good links that you need to check out for yourself. One of them was from what was the video I sent you guys? It was the news clip. I sent it this morning.
Oh yeah, it was the one this morning with the
missile guy.
nuclear intelligence officer.
Yeah. So one of the guys who's supposed to be in charge of the nukes back in '66 at Minot. You remember that incident, right? Remember
Why
they asked
not
about
Minot?
that? You remember when they asked about Minot, and the
Yep.
congressman asked Moultrie about Minot and asked the other guy, and he's like, "No, I can't recall."
That's the first I've heard of this. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, you remember that, right? Well,
Yep.
Moultrie's the guy who basically, also, by the way, was very instrumental in getting Kirkpatrick onto AARO. Just to, just a FYI, let you know that. That's how this is all checking out. At least that's what it shows here in the paper trail. Whether it be true, I don't know yet. This is alleged information. But it does seem that Moultrie was the one who was involved in that. He also was the one who was running the whole the site for AARO and whatnot. When people tried to get a hold of AARO, they weren't getting a hold of it. He wasn't really returning, I guess, calls. I don't know. I've never tried to contact him and wouldn't. But he's also on the advisory board of Battelle. Now, Battelle is a defense contractor, right, Joe?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Which is interesting because, why? But that was U.S. Air Force Captain David Shinley is who it was that I was telling you about. And he was there when all the missiles had went down. Remember we talked about this story before when all the 10 missiles went down at Minot? Well, he was sent in to relieve those guys. And he said when he got there, he'd heard there had been a UFO sighting the night before. And they said, during the briefing, they talked about a couple of the missiles went down. That's nothing unusual. A couple of missiles, that's nothing. That happens sometimes. They take them down, they take them offline for repairs and whatnot.
Maintenance.
Yeah, but when he gets there, that's not what's happened. When he gets there, all the lights are red, no-go status. All 10 nukes are just completely useless at this point. And they find out, of course, that there were UFOs in the area. Later on, he does a little homework. He figures out, what happened? There was a UFO over the area. A lot of people saw it. He didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. He did a verbal non-disclosure agreement, and he is bound by that according to what he has to say. He can't say a whole lot of stuff, but he said, "Sure, I'll go and I'll talk to AARO." AARO contacts him, and basically, it was like he said they were just going through the motion, like they were ordered to do something by Congress, and they were doing it to the absolute minimal of their ability, just to say that we did it and check the box. We called this guy. They didn't care. They didn't record his conversation. They didn't keep anything on file. They just wanted to know if he was the guy who this incident happened under. And yes, he was. He even asked of them. He went so far as to ask them. And I love this part. He said, where is it? I got to find it. He questioned them on the interview, and he asked if any of them in the organization, AARO, was familiar with the UFO phenomena. They said no. Are you familiar with any other government UFO studies? Project Sign, Blue Book, Grudge? Nope. They only knew about his book. That's all that they knew about. When he actually called them to go over the interview, that they wanted to do, he said that was over a landline. If he'd actually been under an NDA, he would have broke it right there, according to what he was saying, because that's an unsecured line.
Right.
Right. I mean, be advised, this is an unsecured line. Is that not what you say when you pick up the the comm, right? So yeah, it's just absolutely ludicrous that this organization seemed to not even understand the laws. Like, they were doing the minimal of their job just because they were ordered to do it by Congress. And one of the things is they said that basically it was set up in such a way that they really hoped that it would just blow over.
Well, and it was also impossible for the small group that they had doing it.
Yeah.
They did receive funding, but they didn't have the manpower to
that's on purpose.
to actually do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So LW says, all this weighs heavy on me. Who is lying and who's unwittingly spreading disinformation? Who truly knows what's going on? I'd just like the truth, whether we have evidence of ET or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, he loves the WrestleMania 15 shirt.
Hey, Brandon, you got a fan. I'm going to mark that down on the calendar.
Octopus says they have proof of them and they're lying about it. The evidence of this, they have always lied to us about this for over a century. Yeah.
Yep. I agree with Octopus. Octopus is right on this. And it was supposed to go.
Octopus also digs the WWF shirt.
He got two fans. I have my traditional black shirt on. How it was supposed to go was how it's went in the past.
LW says, if you want ET to give a press conference, give me a hell yeah. Oh, I just clicked Brandon away.
That was awesome, Joe. How'd you do that?
Oops. That was too much excitement there. I guess it just overpowered everything.
Wow. Wow is all I can say. That's amazing.
Everybody in the chat's going, hell yeah, hell yeah.
What you did was just...
Oh, man.
Wow. Anyway, so guys,
Anita's apparently also having trouble with YouTube, by the way. It says, hey, I'm having trouble with getting on YouTube and checking in here. So she'll be in and out over on the Facebook side.
Okay. That's weird. What's going on there?
Adam Good rattling off all the old gods from
Yeah, okay.
from Lovecraft.
That's interesting. So, Adam,
He's over there summoning something.
Adam, stop. No summoning tonight, Adam. Oh, bring it, Brandon back. He's down there waiting.
Beth says it's all so confusing. Little lies turn into big confusion. They really do.
Well, that's how it works. They really hope that they could just, put somebody in there who was going to say, "Hey, look, guys, there's nothing to this. Let's move on and go to the next topic." That's not what happened this time. What happened was like this guy here. They even ask him. They say, "Hey, what would you tell someone who's had some, one of these experiences and wants to talk to AARO?" He said, "Don't do it. Don't talk to AARO." So they've literally already said bypass them at this point. It's pointless. So what you're going to see is what we saw with Grush. And I told you it was interesting. Remember when that happened, right? When Grush came out, they had just had that conversation before. And Kirkpatrick was in the meeting, and he had said, "John, we're trying to talk to others. We're a small, remember that we were small, like staff or whatever. They couldn't possibly see everybody or something." It was one of their excuses when they were asked. And then, of course, Grush comes out a few months later. Like I said, they got tired of getting the runaround. These people are getting tired of getting the runaround. They're going to find the appropriate sources to where they can just get this information out and do it legally.
So Tony says, "My worry is it's all a psyop, that they'll set up a straw man evidence that they can use to generate a demand for more funding only to knock the straw man down to disillusion us."
Never know, man. At this point, we just never know.
Pat showed up. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Pat's here. So what are you guys thinking? I want to get everybody's take on this. Rachel, welcome. Welcome to the show. And you guys, please share this out. I want to see if we can get some more people to come in here and make sure that YouTube's even working.
Why is Adam Good Primate doing roll call?
I have no idea.
Oh, man. Everybody in the chat is just stone cold. This is the best live in a while there. There's something that the people in the chat are just feeding off of. It's great. Yeah, Fishbelly says, "How's it going to go when Senator Schumer cites the JFK disclosures program as the standard?" Oh, exactly. You know exactly how it's going to go. Just look at the JFK standards. Like, where are we now? We were already supposed to have this information, but there's still people alive, and they won't give it to us.
Well, that's true. That's very true. So this all took a very disturbing turn shortly afterwards. And I don't know how many people are aware of this or not, but this popped up.
Someone went to Ross Coulhart's Wikipedia page and removed all of his awards and positive attributes, mentions of Grush's first interview, etc., and added skeptical critique instead. Everything you see in red is what was removed.
But it wasn't just him.
No, it was an entire hit. This attack went on multiple Wikipedia pages.
Pages were sabotaged include.
Yes, there are folders of evidence linking all of these edits together, as well as messages between the editors admitting to their agenda. Pages that were sabotaged include David Grush, David Fravor, George Knapp, A-Tip, Ross Coulhart, Jacques Vallée, Leslie Keene, Gary Nolan, Bob Lazar, Skinwalker Ranch, etc. They did everything they could to discredit these topics, including removing career histories, awards, accreditations, etc. And apparently Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson are on the council in another skeptic organization with the same lady who runs Guerrilla Skeptics.
And that is one of the editors, allegedly.
They're hitting all the popular stuff.
That's what we've seen so far. Now, this is a developing story. It's there. It's free for anyone to look at. I mean, we obviously didn't make it up. But it's very disturbing. And it's to the point of where, you got even Lou coming out and talking about the nonsense that's happening right now.
I think that's what you would call weaponized skepticism.
Yeah,
You think?
it is. Well, it's what all these Saganites, are doing.
The Saganists.
Saganists. Lou Elizondo says, this is more than just an attempt to disparage a few of us working towards disclosure. In fact, it's an assault on the very freedoms of every person who looks to reliable sources for information. When the outlets designed to inform and clarify information become corrupted by a few reckless, agenda-driven zealots, it becomes downright dangerous for all of our freedoms and casts doubt on all forms of media and freedom of press. We must do a better job at policing ourselves of these types of characters. Remember, there is no greater evil than that which wears the mask of virtue.
Whew.
Regarding the Wikipedia edits.
Say it like it is, Lou. I mean, so what we're sitting here on, guys, is basically, it's a throwdown. We've said it before. We've seen the one side push and then the other side push back, but they're starting to have, squabbles on the playground at this point. Someone's going to get a bloody nose.
Tony says, to be fair, it's why Wikipedia isn't an authority, because technically anybody can go in there and
edit it.
Edit.
Right, Tony. But people don't, your standard public, lemming, as Joe likes to call them, doesn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of
It's
people
also-
don't realize you can just go in and edit Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's not considered an academic source. Like if you try to use one in college, they won't let you.
Right.
But the general pop, they go to Wikipedia. They're going to be like, hey, what?
Yep.
It's the first thing that pops up in a Google search in most cases.
Yeah.
If you just type in a random thing like cryptozoology, if you
Yeah.
type in paranormal, or you type in ufology, any kind of like any kind of thing that needs a descriptor or something that's not necessarily going to be like Merriam-Webster, the first one or two is going to be Wikipedia.
It's true. It's 100% true.
And when you look up
set that
people who
way.
are not movie stars, who wouldn't have like an IMDb, but they're people of note, historical people of note, one of the first sources that pop up is Wikipedia.
And it used to be fairly trustable. I'll be honest with you. I mean,
It was until it was
now,
made open source.
now it can be weaponized, like
Uh-huh.
said, and that's kind of what it is.
Teresa says, dang, they went after everyone.
No, they went after everyone that was involved in the field. Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, guys. I now have my Stone Cold entrance theme in my head, and definitely keeping it weird. What? What? What?
So
Everybody who's not a wrestling fan is like, what is going on?
well,
Ashely, hey,
you know.
good. Okay, well, from the top, right, guys. From the
Can
top.
you start? Really? Ashely. Ashely.
Now, Pat says, go to Wikipedia and use the cited sources. Academics do it all the time. They do.
Yeah.
Just go to Wikipedia, use what sources are being cited, and then go to that source and verify that it's not been edited. Yeah.
But
Or you
here's-
can go on Google and get free academic sources.
But what you've got, it doesn't matter. What you have is you have people who are looking at people who they think have the knowledge, have the authority to speak on these subjects as experts, who are saying, this is what it is.
Yeah.
How did you arrive at that conclusion? That doesn't matter. That's not important. And just going with it. How'd you arrive at that conclusion? It doesn't matter. Because I said it was.
Regarding that, Fishbelly nailed it. Scripted is the best description for the whole thing.
I agree. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Fish, you've nailed that. So yeah, guys, that's a current situation, literally current. Like that's some of that is today clippings, and it's still brewing.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with this. Just wanted to let you guys know that it does appear that this, I think we call it, what was it? Catastrophic disclosure, as they were calling it earlier. I think you're in the first stages of catastrophic disclosure is what I think you're at. That's what it kind of seems.
Well, the only question I got is what you're going to do, brother, when the power of the Joester and the Ronster and all the Brandonites out there run wild on you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez. But I don't know. I mean, it can end badly is where I'm at with this.
Mark says, may you live in interesting times.
Yep.
That is.
Go ahead and check that.
I wish things could be less interesting.
Go ahead and check that on your belt right now, bud. Put a little check right there.
The Brandonites.
No, Ashely. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Best said spreading false info takes attention off of the truth. Bingo.
It does.
The question is always asked, what are they trying to distract us from? And we already know the answer to that.
I don't know, but I don't know if Ashely made it here in time for the Saganites and the Saganists.
Saganists.
Saganists. Sorry. I'm sorry. Saganists.
And it's she didn't. She wasn't in here in time, but that's something she goes back and checks out. And it's one of these things that, you know, it is I get where people say it. I get where folks want they go to Carl Sagan because he was part of this community, you know, because he was part of so many of these documentaries that everybody watches. But he was also, like Travis Taylor's getting at, this was probably not the way that you want to try to, especially in this kind of arena right now with what we have.
It is an arena. Yeah, you hit it right there. This is an arena. That's what there is a line drawn. One of the quotes I'd seen was that there is a war that is going on in the intel community right now between and that's what we said too. It seems like there's two sides, and we're seeing their plays. It's becoming more and more visible at this point. I know Dave just sent us some more info.
Yeah, Dave just sent us another video.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's all about yet, but looked like something with Tucker Carlson. It's probably demons.
Yeah.
So
Theresa says, I'm going to need the next blessing to be Sagan dressed in a classic red devil suit, complete with tail and horns of pitchfork.
Well, as soon as we get the computer back, we'll make sure that happens, and it might be animated with flames and everything. I don't know yet, but yeah, that'll happen.
Jolie Bug, this Brandon has taken over the show with this WWF stuff. Can you smell? Finally, Sagan has come back. No, we're not. No. But yeah, guys, it's like Ron was saying. This has become an arena. It is, and it's going to become more of an arena rather than what we're, you know, the general term there. Like, I think soon it's going to come down to like these gladiators of each side getting ready to come to blows, and it's already.
Oh no, yeah.
Kirkpatrick and Taylor.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys. What is this going to make? It's historic regardless. This is historic. This has not happened to it like this. This just hasn't happened before. So what is it going to make the general public think about this? Are they just going to look at it and be like, oh, it's just, you know, cats and dogs fighting and I don't really care anymore? Or are they actually going to get involved and be like, we want this to be an issue? We are in an election year. I'm just saying.
We are, yeah. And we predicted that this was going to be a primer for a lot of this stuff and that politicians are going to start getting involved, making promises. D went to the wrong live stream. Thanks, Jimbo.
I'm waiting for politicians to start taking jabs at each other over this.
What was that, Brandon?
So I'm waiting for the politicians to start taking jabs at each other.
Oh, man, that's already started. It's gonna just keep getting worse.
Oh yeah.
Can someone at least fill me in on what we're supposed to be talking about? We're talking about the government hush job, essentially.
That's taking place right now.
The quieting, the silencing of witnesses, of their own staff, people who are intimately involved with this topic of UAPs currently and other high strangeness now.
And, you know, the character assassinations that are taking place, the this, I'll put that back up there again real quick for you.
Yep.
Because apparently someone pretty much did a massive edit.
Yeah, it was a group called Guerrilla Skeptics.
And they did a massive edit on David Grush, David Fravor, George Knapp, A-Tips, Ross Cohart, Jacques Vallée, Leslie Keene, Gary Nolan, Bob Lazar for some reason. I don't know why they would do that. Do you?
Oh, I went through and I looked. They put etc. here because it keeps going. Like it was everybody who's attached to the UFO topic.
Yeah, literally.
They did edits on Giorgio's page. They did edits on
it's all nonsense.
Everybody, like all the ancient alien guys got hit. All of like it was a massive, massive group of people who are in the UFO camp and high strangeness camp that had their pages edited and adjusted. And
fortunately, we don't matter because we're not that important. But the thing is, it was led by well, not led by. I won't say that, but it was from a council, the Guerrilla Skeptics, like Joe said. And the people who sat on that, some of the people who sat on that are Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now, that doesn't mean that they're involved. That just means that, it's like saying, oh, yeah, those wild and weird guys did it and everybody in their group is associated with them. No, it doesn't mean that.
Right.
So let's just clear that up real quick because that's kind of the way that it's painted right here on this Reddit post, but that just means that they're members of that group. That doesn't mean that they get any control over it. Doesn't mean that they sanction anything at all. So, I mean, coming to their defense on that part, I will, because that's kind of unfair association.
Ashley says, don't get me started on Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't worry. If we start on him, the show will just keep going on him because I've got nothing good for him either.
Yeah. So, basically that happened. Kirkpatrick came out and said everything's been drones that, apparently we have drones. Did you guys know we have drones now that are spheres within squares, apparently? And you can just go right on down here at Best Buy and pick one up, I think.
Right.
I think so. And they can jam aircraft systems as well. Oh, and did you know you can't see them unless you have thermal? Yeah.
Hopefully you don't throw one at somebody because it's just going to clock them.
Yeah. So, all drones. And he released his op-ed early, and that was not a coincidence. And Grush's will be out in a couple weeks, so he jumped Grush. Basically says it's all bunk and over hype and over blah, 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 all this. And then him and Travis Taylor got into a war of words, which was fun.
So Tony says this isn't the first time that skeptics have done this to groups that they think are fringe on Wikipedia. Right. They've done it to intelligent design advocates and flat earthers. Yes, they have.
Yeah, it's not new. It's just new in this context because it came out and it's such the perfect timing. It's literally right in line with the op-ed that came out and the character assassination kind of stuff. It's weird. It's just weird, uncomfortable weird. I don't like it personally. I think it gives us a bad name.
When has anyone said we need a congressional committee to fix this?
Right.
Oh, man.
So what do you think Burchett's going to say about this when it all drops?
Oh, man. Tim, I think, is going to come in red hot.
Dadgummit.
He's going to come in red hot, and I know that he came out, he spoke, he didn't speak directly to this, but he said that they've got he confirmed more people coming forward under oath and they're not going to announce them, but he's confirmed that there's more people.
I just had an idea. We should have Dewey be our Burchett impersonator.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, good Lord. You guys are hilarious. But that is what's going on out there in the real world right now, as far as it goes. And we have a theory, basically, that this is going to spill over into something much bigger.
Real quick, because we haven't said this yet. Right now, we've got a bunch of you guys watching. If you all want to comment, get involved. jump into the chat over here. It's easy to do. We want to hear what you got to say. Throw in some comments, critiques of what's going on right now in the UAP world, some of the stuff that's going on out there. And also don't forget to give a like and a share on the video, at least a like. If you can't do anything else, throw a like down on the video. Please, because those help us out a lot. And we really appreciate that. It's real quick, real easy for y'all. And thank you.
Oh, multiple thank yous.
Carry on, Ron.
No, it's really that's about it. I think it's going to spill over into something really bad.
Yeah,
and it's going to make us all look really bad. That's what I think. That's what I think.
It's going to turn into a massive mudslinging. And nobody's, unfortunately, this is a thing that nobody's going to come out clean on.
I don't think so.
You've got people who are pillars on either side of the community in the UFO, UAP community, as well as within government, who are going to start just throwing haymakers at one another here soon over some of this data. And it's going to get real messy. And my biggest concern is we're going to have like some kind of a like Richard Doty Part 2 kind of thing going on. Where the military starts to fabricate folklore.
Would you know?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's what's got me concerned. Whereas the government will start fabricating this kind of folklore around UFOs, and that people are being watched, or people are going to be having stakeouts put on them, things like that.
Or they're going to be summoning demons, maybe.
Or they're summoning demons.
I'm not kidding.
No, you're not.
I started thinking about this really a lot this past week, especially after this. And I'm like, because I like to think of these things as a game, you know that, because I think that's what we are. We're playing a game. They're always playing a game. They've always been playing a game with us. And it's like a chess game. And the move is very simple. If you're playing a game, something strategic, you never let someone see your winning move, right? I mean, that's just it. All of a sudden we start talking about demons. We start talking about, extra dimensional beings, blah, 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 all this stuff. And people just bought that hook, line, and sinker. Like that. Do you think that they didn't know that you were going to buy that hook, line, and sinker? I mean, it's the perfect thing, really, to hide behind. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the perfect thing to hide behind. If there's something else going on, let them believe that. That's okay. Let's give them a little something extra to make them believe that. This technology is so incredibly powerful. It has to be. That's all it can be. It's supernatural.
Right. Pat says, stupid gatekeeping BS. Why don't people just get a life? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, buddy. I really do. This is just nonsense.
Men in Black says the only game we're playing is Keep Away.
You're good at it too.
Everybody, Men in Black, the fourth co-host of Wild and Weird Radio Live.
Right. The unofficial. Actually, is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow, we're doing a spooky, wild, and weird weekend, by the way. I just want to bring it up while we had some people here. Spooky Appalachia has always been a good friend of ours and a really good supporter of the show. Matter of fact, anybody who supports the show, we shout out all the time. That's how it works. You support us, we support you, et cetera, et cetera. And he had a great idea. He wanted me to come on there a couple weeks ago and talk about his UFO sighting, which I did. I went on there and talked about his UFO sighting. And we were like, I'm going to put it on. He said, I want to put it on before you guys. And that way, maybe I can get them to come over and, some of my viewers can watch you guys. I'm like, that's a cool idea. So, what we could do is we could do like a block. He's like, oh yeah, let's do that. So in the essence of the old must-see TV days of NBC, you remember those, we came up with the Spooky, Wild, and Weird weekend. We're going to do these every now and again and kind of host these together, and it'll be kind of fun. But tomorrow's the first one, so be sure to go over and here we go. Be sure to go over and catch Spooky Appalachia's premiere of his UFO sighting. That's at 7:15, and it'll be immediately followed, come on over here, by the premiere of Time Travel and Time Anomalies, the Paranormal Connection that we did this week with Mike Rixiker. And boy, oh boy, what a show that will be. I promise
Yeah,
you.
Mike was a really, really fun interview.
Wow.
Erie says, I volunteer as tribute.
I'll tell you this. Everything you want to know about time travel and more, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, for real. It was an incredible conversation. Just an incredible conversation.
Eyes in the Woods says, hey there, happy Australia Day to all who celebrate, and who wouldn't want to celebrate with our friends down under? Octopus says, I see all you great people in the chat doing these shows. I guess the hosts are cool. And the other shows too. Dewey, Kyle from Encrypted, Preston Dennett, and so many luminous beings in the future. Spooky flexing over there.
Yeah, spooky.
Theresa says, I have to catch them on the replay. Stupid busy weekend. Yep, I'll feel you there. I got a catering this weekend I got to go do.
Replays are just as good as anything else, guys. Just remember, always leave a comment after you watch those. It really helps the algorithm as well.
Oh, yeah.
And, watch them. Just to turn them on and play it. If you're not watching, just listen. But, but you get the spooky one's really good. We go over a little bit of what we did here with the live, where I kind of showed him, did a little bit of the enhancement on his orb type sighting that he had out there, and we talk a little bit of stuff, and I think I talked a little bit about some stuff, but that's about it. It's not very long. It's not long at all. I think it's like 35 minutes or something.
So, guys, do you have any questions out there in the chat? Any comments towards some of the stuff you've been seeing? Because this is all fresh out of the gate. A lot of this information is
I'm still looking right now. That's
it's
how
hitting
new it
right
is.
now.
I'm not even kidding you guys.
Erie Travel says MegaCon next weekend, so packing this weekend. Hope to see some people there. Deucer says, if y'all get a chance, check out last night's episode of Encrypted Connections. We had a legendary RPG with Kyle and I on the terrific show.
Oh,
What?
That's RPG. He's a filmographer. He worked on Finding Bigfoot.
Really?
And he was the guy that got sick on the first episode of Expedition Bigfoot season 1.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. Fishbelly says, degrees of belief, aliens, dimensionals, our own technology, or demons.
Hey, that's a really good title for a subject right there.
But the definitely don't think they're demons. At least that's me anyway.
No, I'm not team demon, guys. I just want to put that on the record for you.
If it's our own technology, then they're playing really, really risky games.
Right.
And illegal games, like punishable by the UCMJ.
What did I say when we first saw what? Okay, you guys there's some new people here. They may not have seen this. I'm going to pop this up for you guys first of all. Here, let's play this. I keep it over here because I don't know where the original went, and I'm afraid to delete it. But here you go. Take a look at this.
This is on thermal. These were not visible to the naked eye, and basically moved horizon to horizon within about 5 seconds or so. One was in Salt Fork, Ohio. The other was in Logan County, West Virginia.
Yeah. So the one in Logan County happened a year before we heard anything about these.
Yep.
Invisible.
A year before the CIA released that there are documents pertaining to these UAPs that are only visible on thermal.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I told you that day when we looked at this, and we looked at this for a long time before we even released that to people and let them see it. Either A, because someone kept saying, "Oh, it's drones, it's drones, it's drones." Either A, that's subject B, is what we call. It's what we like to call. I think what Travis said, the fourth tier or whatever. Subject B, or That's drones. And if that's drones, then someone's flying invisible drones over U.S. territory. Now, if that's another nation, that's an act of war. But if that is us flying over our own territory, well, someone's going to have some explaining to do either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I kind of looked at it back then. And what's interesting is that's kind of where they're at with this now.
Larry Hose just said UCMJ just gave me shivers. Me too. Every time I say it, I'm like, I almost want to finish it with punishable by death. All my vets out in the audience will get that.
Hey, I'll be right back. You guys hold down everything.
Oh, of course. So we've got Christopher says, my neck of the woods, Salt Fork. Yep, we recorded that out there by the lake, where the parking pad is, the big concrete parking pad. We recorded that there, and we were with our good buddies from the Ohio Squatch Project, the maker of the Squatch Stick himself, Glenn. He was there, and he was actually we were documenting his story about what had taken place, and what had happened in his and his wife's encounters back in the day. And that's when we started having some weird stuff going on. We looked up in the sky using the thermal and caught it. And that was the, again, I'm holding the thermal and I'm like, let's go ahead and look up at the sky, because why not? We're already having this weird activity, and boom, there it is. And that's when we started seeing it dart across the sky. And that wasn't the only one that we had that night. Then y'all got to check them out. What do we got to check out? Octopus. Oh, you guys, that's literally what I see frequently. Yeah. I mean, it's
out there, bud. It's out there.
Everybody, these things, we've recorded them now in multiple states, and
we've heard the same from other researchers at this point.
Yeah.
This out there.
Yeah. So Octopus says, I've got chills right now. I haven't seen that video before. Yeah, we've captured some decent video. We've got it also. There's more video than just that. If you go back over on our YouTube and look at some of the UFO stuff, there's some where they do these wild like maneuvers where they J-hook in on themselves and perform these physically impossible maneuvers at high speeds.
Yeah, go watch the let me find it, the name of it for you. Oh man, sorry, I gotta.
Men in Black, we've been flying invisible drones over the U.S. soil for decades. We're not explaining anything, primates.
Right. That's pretty much.
Pat says, it can't be demons. I'm a demon, and I would know.
They forgot to tell you. Yeah, go under the investigation tab on our main page, and it's right there, right in the middle. It says investigations, and you'll see a couple of those actual investigation videos. And UFOs over Logan, West Virginia is the one where you're going to see the J-hook.
Yeah,
that's the one that has like 1,000 views or something. Go.
It's had a lot of traffic, and that video there's some remarkable things that go on. And I was just grabbing some B-roll basically, just messing around with it because it was the first time I'd really played with it. And then as I'm scanning the horizon, all of a sudden, boom, here's this thing. I'm like, oh, well, here we go.
Yeah.
So LW Marshall says, I'm still sorting through everything, struggling to understand, but I'm thankful to have a forum like this. Glad to be among those seeking truth. Hey, LW, absolutely, man. And
we're trying.
The one thing that you're going to always have with us is that you'll always have an open channel. We never turn anybody away. We never discredit anybody's questions. The only bad question is one that's not asked.
That's the truth.
And so we really, we appreciate everybody that comes here week in, week out. And
folks, I see 32 likes. I see 50 eyeballs. Means there's 50 people at least watching this. Hit that like.
That's just on
right
YouTube.
now.
That's not counting Facebook. That's just the YouTube.
I know. I don't see you Facebook people over here. All we can see is the YouTubers. So yeah, hit that so we can get those algorithms up there. And get
Christopher said, y'all definitely need to check out Salt Fork Camp here this summer. We go to Salt Fork quite a bit. We're actually we're up there every year for the Ohio Bigfoot.
Salt Fork. That's where you saw this thing.
Oh yeah, the ghost possum.
There's ghost possum for you Salt Forkers.
Yeah, we had a weird heat signature show up.
You had ghost possums, did you?
Yeah, and so to Christopher, since you're in the chat here, I'll tell you about there's that little hit right there, that blip that goes in and out. That's a heat signature that shouldn't be there. Now, I thought I'm seeing and hearing something, and I'm about 20 yards away.
There it is.
Because I thought I was honing in on the same thing he was looking at, and I reached down and I saw this ball of fuzz moving around, and I thought it was a baby possum. And I went to go pick it up. The thing scurried away and jetted off through the leaf litter and disappeared. Like all of a sudden, the motion stopped, the sound stopped. It was gone, and it was right at the same time that thing vanished out of thermal as well. It was a very strange night.
It's definitely a high strangeness event. You can go catch that one over there as well. I think that one is what's it called? Is it the high strangeness? Yeah, I think it's one of the high strangeness episodes. A simple interview turns into a wild and weird adventure. That's the name of it. Yeah, that's it. It's like 26 minutes long. But
Octopus says, incredible. I've seen them juking and jiving all the way through the sky, and they do disappear approaching the horizon. Yep.
Yeah, they do. They do. And that, what's crazy about that one there at Saw Fort we were talking about is we had equipment failures going on. We had multiple equipment with battery failures happening almost at the same time that thing was found. There were synchronicities. It was just wild, man.
Fishbelly says the SR-71 is how old? When was it designed? The 40s? They were happy to let it be reported as a UFO.
Yep.
And what are they flying now? Something better for sure. No, I agree with that.
Yep.
And even though if you go back and you look into the old, it's a TR-3B. If you go back and you look into the old data files and look into the mock records that are available, anytime that thing was flying, there was a flight scheduled. It didn't say what it was because that information was classified. Now when it shows up as SR-71, but it just showed a scheduled flight. There's no scheduled flight data for any of this stuff, and they're performing war game tactics in areas. And they're doing training in these areas where during training is a no-fly zone, and they're having these other things. Like it's just, you're not going to have that kind of interference ran with our own tech against our own tech because it's not worth lives.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's like, again, punishable by the UCMJ.
This is illegal.
So Lisa said we need to talk about the RM and an issue at the house in Barbersville. Is that right? Beeville, Barbersville?
Barbersville?
I mean, I live next to Barbersville.
What's going on out there?
Or Bakers? I don't know. Clarify that up for us a little bit, Lisa.
Brief us.
Tony Breeden said ghost possum or demon. That one was probably definitely a demon, and that's why I was going to stick it in my pocket and bring it home.
Oh, gosh.
Donna says it seems like there have been some interdimensional beings, or how else would they get into places otherwise impossible to enter, i.e. an old camp trailer with very small windows and only one door, which was locked.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible, or they can dematerialize and rematerialized.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah.
As far as it goes. If you're talking about something with, superior technology, I could see that. I really could. And, we didn't really touch a lot of that in the time travel episode, but I could totally see that kind of technology being used.
Toady said Sky Daddy Ghost Possum.
That's a possibility.
Ron and Joe, has the last episode of Small Town Monsters been aired yet with y'all on the show?
I don't think.
I've not seen it.
I don't think so. Been. And Seth has been under the weather of late.
Yeah, he's been dealing with. He went on a trip, came back.
Wish him some wellness.
Yep.
I blame Civil War ghosts.
I could see a Ghost Possum Adam mashup.
Yeah, right.
Oh, ta ta.
Oh man, you guys are awful. Oh crap. Hang on, I'll be back again.
Eyes in the Woods says, anyone else in New England? I know we normally got some folks from New England who are in the chat. Good buddy Alex Petikoff, he's from up that way. I'm trying to get in on all these. There's a lot. Okay, It was she was talking to D. It was a haunted house in Blairsville, far from us, unfortunately. Adam says, I've been in the middle of mock war games and SD because of people I was with. Beth says, love the paranormal, or it loves and follows me, one of the two. Lisa says, we know a guy that collects mannequins. He dresses them and talks with them. Suddenly he has a poltergeist activity in his house. Go figure. Surprise, surprise. Men in Black, our most basic technology is advanced technology, you talking monkeys. Pat says, as a demon, I believe that being sent back to hell would be preferable to being put in Joe's pocket. Probably why the ghost possum disappeared. Oh, man. Deucer says, speaking of small town monsters, we're going to film more for the Mantell crash, Lost Contact. Awesome. That's great news. That's going to be a really, really good one that comes out.
I've returned. Yeah, I can't wait to see Lost Contact. I think that's going to be really cool.
So yeah, it's been a long time since we've been able to get out and do some research. I'm itching, man.
Yeah,
especially throwing up the thermal. Like we went out and we got a little bit of a taste up there at Wineberry a couple weeks ago.
3 weeks ago or so, yeah.
We got to wet our tongue a little bit, but man.
Well, it was an interesting wetting. I'll tell you that. That was I don't know what to think about that yet, but I'll tell you, man, that's going to be some stuff. There's some stuff there. There's going to be some interesting.
Beth says, I wish someone would have told me my hair was sticking up when recording with Small Town Monsters. I didn't notice it, or else I
didn't either. Yeah, she's been talking about that a while.
Ashely says, same. I need to get out there, but winter persists. But so do we.
Winter stinks.
Get you some waterproof boots and make it happen.
Yeah, right. We've got
you guys are all awesome. We're I'm jumping back over onto the YouTube side here real quick and taking a look, and we bounced up there and likes a good bit. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, guys. I was gonna say we got this in. This is a little something we got for what's his name there, Mr. Swiger. He's gonna have his very own little.
Oh yeah, you found that in the box. So tell me about that.
Yeah, he's
I was gonna ship that to you a couple weeks ago, but it got put in a box of stuff to go to Ron's house and went to Ron's place.
So I've got it, which means it's going to have a collective sticker here now. So you're going to be a member of the collective. So congratulations. So yeah, just to give you guys an idea, that's kind of some of the stuff that your donations and support go to. This is
Spooky actually, says MIB sounds like Frieza monkeys.
This is actually going to go out to Tommy, and he's been having some interesting experiences out there on his property. He wants to document them, and he needed a decent little EMF meter, and the K2 is a decent little EMF meter. It's just very, very, very sensitive. I like that it's very sensitive. You just have a couple of rules that you got to pay attention to on this thing. And number one is you keep your cell phone away from it. It'll pick that up in a heartbeat and really confuse you.
Yep. It's one of those things where you want to remove all known electronics out of the room before you start using it.
Yeah. Well, you get your baseline, but make sure that you've got, like I said, cell phones, because they're going to ping, 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 right? So make sure that you're on airplane mode or something like that. It's fine on airplane mode. I've checked that out, but you got to pay attention to it. But it is very sensitive.
Larry says Small Town Monsters launched their Kickstarter on February 1st. That they do.
They do.
It is going to be a good time. You'll probably see us pop up at least in the chat over there. Last year, I actually got to come into the fundraiser exercise and make some laughs. So it'll at least be in the chat hanging out with you guys. But you never know what will happen.
Never know. Never know what's going to happen.
That whole live there on Small Town is a trip because it's just all by ear. They have a script of what they got to read off, and then they go.
Oh, D.
Uh-oh.
Give. That right there. You just.
Hallelujah! It's a raining sky.
You just paid for the shipping on the K2 meter. Look at you. Thank you, D.
Thanks, D.
You're rock. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's raining sky daddies. There you go. You can't get any more blessed than that.
Beth says small town was so awesome and down to earth, but y'all know who my favorite investigators are. That's right. The team that you belong to, Beth. The West Virginia High Stranges Collective. Christopher says West Virginia is an awesome and beautiful state. I love West Virginia. Well, thanks. D says it's worth it just for Sky Daddy. Well, it's also worth it because you really did. You just paid for the shipping up there to
you really
for that K2 meter to make it up to Tommy.
Yeah, see. Well, I'm actually going to be taking it to Tommy, but you paid for it to get to you and then to me, I guess.
Yeah, right.
It's taken a long way around.
Donna Ho, 5 windows. She's talking about the. Oh, she's back on. I forget that Donna's always on a delay. Talking about the trailer that she had that was inaccessible for something to come through.
Okay, yeah.
She had mentioned it earlier.
Extra dimensional.
Pat says Sky Daddy Rain needs some audio to go with it. Well, the problem with that, Pat,
Soon, brother. Soon. Judging by the photo you sent me a little bit ago, very soon.
Oh, well, good.
So keep at it. We can build her stronger and faster and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see.
All right, guys. So we got a large group still watching. Again, any questions you guys have?
Throw it out. Doesn't even have to be related. Just anything
you
want to talk about. Boom. Let's do it. Let's hit it.
Because we're in the back half of that second hour. We can. Yeah. We'll jump onto whatever you want to throw our way.
Yeah, we covered the majority of what needed to be said, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew what was going on because I have a feeling it's going to be in the news next week, and there's going to be a lot of people sharing this stuff and not understand what's going on or seeing it in their feed. I mean, that's one of the good things about Wild and Weird Radio Live. We seek to try to get it out there to you so you can be prepared, and it's not a sucker punch. Because I got a feeling the only side of it you're going to probably hear officially is going to be the Kirkpatrick side, but there's more of it going on. You need to know that.
Yeah, and he's just going to wind up getting a bullhorn is the only thing I'm worried about. Now that he's not in the office any longer,
sure,
he's just going to start
his hands
screaming from his soapbox.
Yeah, his hands aren't tied now, so it's kind of dangerous, especially when you can quote Sagan for the rest of your life.
Right.
Saganists. Thanks, Saganists. Whoa, mic drop. What was that? What do we got? We got people asking questions over here. What we got?
D said, would you guys ever plan an investigation event? I've been to West Virginia, Fayetteville, cute little town. Yeah, we actually do plan those. Historically, we were the first people in West Virginia to have workshops.
That's a trivia question that most people get wrong.
Yep. We hosted workshops for investigation to teach people how to be investigators in active areas. So yeah, I mean, we also have one coming up
that was the,
in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
That was the first Bigfoot workshop.
Yeah, the first Bigfoot one was back in 2021. It was going to be 2020, but yay, pandemic. Yeah. And so we bumped it off to 2021, and we've been doing them ever since. Last year's was an absolute ball. And then this year's coming up is going to be there in Point Pleasant. It'll be a high strangeness workshop, and then we've got another Bigfoot workshop coming up as well.
No, Pabs. No. Hail Sagan. No.
Tommy says, when is the workshop?
I'm sorry.
So for the workshop, I have been working with them They were supposed to get me a list of dates that were available between late April and mid-May, and she hadn't emailed it to me yet. I'm expecting an email tomorrow, at which point I'll go ahead and we'll book the date, and we will let you guys know next Thursday. But as of today, at like 4 or 5 o'clock, I hadn't gotten anything back from them yet.
Yeah. Brandy. Brandy says that many Christians believe they are aliens, but they're demons. Believe they aren't aliens. Sorry, but they are demons. They know they're prepared. They prepared it for us. Some do, not many, but some. Do you believe they're demons, Joe?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
No, me either. So
Never, and I never have.
Brandon, demon or possible extraterrestrial, alien, extra dimensional.
It's not a demon.
There you go, sir. That's 3. That's 3 out of 3 Christians who say no.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you do have right now. The thing is, the ones that are being heard the most are the loud ones.
Yeah, we honestly don't know though. I'm not going to say that they're wrong or they're right. I'm going to say what Reverend Carter says. Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe we're all right. Because I really love that.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up. I mean, to take the stand that this is 100% without knowing that this is 100% is foolish. And that's pretty much what AARO just did. Don't be like AARO. Don't be a Sean.
Man, and you know what's funny? We absolutely pegged AARO. After the success that the UAP task force was actually having and the water they were treading, when they dismantled it and moved to AARO, we called it the minute it was announced.
We did. Yep, we did. Absolutely. And it was 100%. I don't, I mean, it's pretty much been a straight up, they're so easy to read.
Demons all the way down, Tony.
Oh gosh. You guys. You guys are hilarious.
Oh, what?
Pat says life is a giant investigation. Only most of us aren't paying attention to anything worth thinking about.
Oh, you're missing it.
What? What is it? Has the invasion started? What? What?
Hey, you see that now?
What? What?
Holy crap.
Larry, $100 blessing.
That's the largest donation anyone has ever given us towards.
Oh yeah, by far.
You broke the record, brother.
Broke the record.
You broke the friggin' record and you blew it apart.
That is huge, dude. Especially with some of the crap we're fighting with right now. That will go a long way, man.
You have no idea.
We very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Larry.
We've got stuff. We've got hardware that we've got for investigators to do. We've got hardware for us that we need.
Hardware. I'm running off of 2 gerbils in a friggin' cage over here chasing a carrot to make a computer work. Come on. But we're getting there.
Yeah, the normal wild and weird machine has been out of commission for a couple weeks.
It's okay. It's good. Say only nice things about it. It'll be back. But no, thank you. Seriously, man. 100.
Yeah, Larry, dude, you're the man. So D says the behaviors are very different. Aliens have historically tried to protect us from ourselves.
Yes, D. 100%. Yes, D. You're absolutely right. I think so too.
Kinda.
No, not kind of. Not kind of. If you look at the majority of encounters, in hindsight, they almost always say, well, now that I think about it, they brought me back. I have a pretty okay life now. Things don't suck too much. Oh, they didn't kill me. Those all end up being pretty straight up. And
but then there's some that they did.
Which ones?
Betty and Barney, Cash Landrum.
Cash Landrum was a government. Pretty sure that's a government craft right there. And it follows right in line with us.
It could be. If it was reverse engineered government.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
But then Betty and Barney.
Pretty sure. Betty and Barney, I don't even know how I feel about that. Here's why. Could it have been the exposure? Yeah, it could have been. It could have very well been the exposure. Or it may not have been the exposure. But either way, Betty did okay with it later on.
Yeah. Barney didn't
Barney,
have so
not
much luck.
No.
Then you got the guys over from Rendlesham with radiation exposure.
No, they had a little bit. And one of them did have a download. Those are kind of hard to reconcile at the point of when they're happening. But again, today he's okay. So, So you have to.
Yeah,
to
after he
look at
got
these
the
things.
attention from medical professionals that he needed, thanks
Again,
to Nolan
well,
and Kit Green.
Thanks to the government messing it up. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Is like when it's okay. Here's the bottom line. Dealing with the extraterrestrial, extra dimensional, or whatever they are, is going to be a whole lot more pleasant than dealing with the government. That's what the moral of that story is. Yeah. Whatever they got planned for you, they'll erase your mind. At least you won't remember it. The government, not so much. They'll send it to you in a little manila envelope and make you sign on the line. You will never forget anything.
I'm not to the place where I can just get on board that everybody and everything's malevolent or not malevolent. Like
not
it's
everything.
all benevolent. Like I can't
Not
get on board with
everything,
the benevolence
It's
factor yet.
not everything. It's just like people. I think it's almost exactly like people. We have our factions, so to speak.
Men in Black says your backwater planet is under quarantine to protect the rest of the universe from your violent species, and that I would believe.
No, I wouldn't doubt that at all. There's no way I doubt that. I'll tell you what, I did read a very interesting book this week. I had to get it, and this is Chris Bledsoe's book. This is not a book review. It is not an endorsement. It's a good book. That's all I'm going to say about this. This is a really good book. The way that he interprets it is interesting. That's Chris Bledsoe. But what I did find amazing about this is the owl connection is in here, which is just fantastic.
D says, I've had an encounter. I promise you they're not demons. I'm not saying they're demons. I don't think they're demons.
Thank you, D.
I do not think that they're all benevolent, though.
No, there's two sides. But what's fascinating about Bledsoe's encounter there is, if you don't know him, he's been on a few shows. He was on Skinwalker Ranch where they actually, did some experiments with him and kind of proved, that this guy can actually, he knows when they're here, and these orbs appear around him and whatnot. And they measured his brainwave activity, and it's doing some crazy stuff at the same time that most people can't do. It's very interesting, is what I'll say about it. What did I actually say? I think some.
Ashley says, I think some can be bad, just like how some people can be bad.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely true.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like we have some of the most heinous human beings walking the face of the earth, and they're among us right now.
And that's just
like I just can't get on board with the light and love all the time. There's too many. Even one or two is enough to detract for me to think that it's all happiness and rainbows.
I think that has a lot to do with just disillusionment with humanity as well. It'll get down to you sometimes. Scott Holbrook just made a rain of daddies.
Oh, yeah, I'm catching up in the comments. We're getting. Brother.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, guys, as far as it goes. Yes, thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. We got, like I was saying, the book's good. If you get a chance, if you're interested in the contact type experience, I recommend it. And I recommend it on personal reasons because some of the things that he was, encountered in here is literally stuff I wrote about years ago from my own encounters. And it's kind of scary in that respect, but, I'm amazed with it. I really am. So either I'm back at square one, whereas, everybody's having the same delusions, or there's an intelligent force that is interacting with people. And it's easier for me to believe that there's an intelligent force interacting with people rather than everybody's having the same shared multiple delusion. So.
Theresa says, to add to the good, bad idea, I don't think that we can accurately ascribe our constructs of what good and bad is to something we don't fully understand. Right. Bingo. And Bingo. I can agree with that because then you're anthropomorphizing.
Well, it depends on what side you're on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It depends on what side you're on. The paradigm shifts from what side you're on.
If you've ever kept an ant colony in a glass flat before, and you had your little ant farm, I'm sure that when they died, or if you were moved any out and they got killed or whatever, it wasn't any big sweat on you. You didn't care. But the colony, how did the colony feel? How did the colony feel about being kept in a glass trap? But I guess as long as you keep them fat and happy and fed, they don't care, do they?
Beth says she gets jealous of hearing. Yeah.
What is it?
Beth.
There you go.
Yeah, there. That's it. She gets jealous of hearing people's accounts of being able to communicate and befriend Bigfoot. Well, here's the thing, Beth. We don't know if that's Bigfoot. So maybe you don't want to do that. I don't know. Just saying.
Anita says, I wish y'all could see this. I have the Wild and Weird WWVA Facebook page going. I bounced there while getting the computer back up. Well, my cat has just now settled in and is watching the show on my phone and purring. Well, excellent.
Well, cats are a very good judge of character. I have 3 of them, and my cats are a very good judge of characters as well as guardians. They like to watch and make sure everything's, good around the house.
Nightmare Fuel Adam gets me every time.
Nightmare Fuel Adam. Is that what you guys are calling it now?
All they do is mirror our individual behavior. It could be it.
I cannot keep up with the chats.
Tommy says, share the show and like it. I do. My weirdo friends love it.
Share it.
Share it away, guys.
We are counting on you. Because unlike other places, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's just we don't need to do it because we have such an incredible family here. And your family. They come in here every week and they tune into the show, and we keep getting, this gets bigger every week. I've been noticing our numbers have just been getting more and more, and I will never understand, how many people can actually, enjoy listening to us droning on about this stuff, but God bless every one of you. And thanks for being here. But
Men in Black says always carry a towel. It's one of the prime rules of the universe, Yeah.
But
if you're going to be a hitchhiker in the universe, you got to always carry a towel.
But yeah, you guys, you've definitely made the show. So please do share it out and make sure others see it, because we don't do any paid for kind of advertisements, anything like that. We don't do memberships. We don't do Patreons. We don't do what is that other one? Buy me something. I don't know. Buy me coffee.
Oh, buy me a coffee or whatever.
If you're going to buy me a coffee, you buy me a coffee. Okay. If we're at a show and you want to buy me a coffee or Joe a coffee.
Yeah. Just bring us a coffee.
Bring a coffee.
Or food.
Oh yeah. I was going to say, or food, that's wonderful. Isn't that?
Just know that I take my coffee with diabetes. So
okay.
Bring me a few packets of sugar.
He likes sugar. I like real sugar.
Then Lisa says, what was the movie from a couple years back about the little girl who befriended Bigfoot? It was all the rage here because it was filmed locally. That was something with giants. Yeah, A Wish for Giants. That's it.
Okay, there we
go. Yeah, so
I think we're caught up. Are we caught up?
You guys,
wow, you guys have blown up the likes.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to comment on. The likes have popped up. The chat feed is up.
Let's see if we've gone up in any subs at this point.
Lisa says that was it. I waited in line forever to see it. Past where it was filmed yet every day. That's cool. Beth says I try all kinds of weird things to get them to come closer. I'm one of those weird orb chasers. Oh man.
Well, thank you guys. We have 4 brand new subs that have come in. I can only assume you're still out there somewhere. So bless
you. Thank you, guys. If that was you and you're still in the chat, if you're here watching the live, just like drop in and say, hey,
that was me.
Yep. Just so that way we get a name with you. We like to know our folks.
Well, a lot of our folks end up, coming to shows and out on an expedition with us or something at some point too. So, and like we said, there will be an expedition, and it's going to be a killer. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, one day soon we're going to plan a multi-day expedition, and it will be.
I'm talking about the actual one.
Oh, you're talking about the High Strangeness one?
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, I was talking about the
It's
big
gonna be
one we were
amazing.
thinking about trying to do, the multi-day one.
Yeah, but this is gonna be just amazing. This, and we know that that's absolute in the books. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of waiting now to figure out when. But it's going to be announced very soon, and you will be the first to know right here on this show. We'll be the first to know.
That's right.
It's going to be
Jen
announced.
says Jamie and I need a workshop fix. Hint, hint.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Pay attention,
it's going to be late April to mid-May. That's the time frame that I gave them, and they're going to throw me some weekends, and we'll go from there. I know it will not be the weekend of May 4th.
Yeah.
So
we won't be here for that.
That'll be the only one because we're going to be at OBC.
We will not be here.
Beth says the ones here throw things. Been doing that for generations. My grandfather got pushed by one down a hill. Wow. We had Dusty. Dusty Ruth was another guy that was telling us about how they were out on an investigation. He got pushed. He was getting ready to get out of his tent and got knocked over because they had something walking around in the.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, walking around in the campsite area, and he was getting out of his tent and got knocked.
I mean, I don't know what I would do in that case.
Nancy White says, Ada and I are ready for the workshop. So are we.
We are too. We have some new toys that you guys are going to love, and I think we've got them down pretty good at this point.
Be sure to check the full moon you definitely landed on tonight. Gaze upon its beauty. We need retinal scans.
So that's how it works.
It's so cloudy here that we can't.
Yeah. We've got fog city out there.
Yep. And from where the cloud cover is so thick on top, the fog's not moving. It's just like stagnant fog.
No, it's an eerie fog. It's very eerie fog. Good photos. You can get out there with the right light.
Oh, Christopher said, hey, me and my mountain cur dog definitely subscribed. Love your stuff. Thank you. We appreciate it, Christopher. Thanks for joining us.
Give him a blessing for that.
And thanks for jumping in here and hanging out with us in the chat too. You've been fun.
You'll get used to that.
Yep. When you get when we come up the weekend of the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, okay? It's May 4th, so it's Saturday, so Friday, Saturday. Try to come up there that Friday night or something. You never know. If you catch us out there, we'll go hang out. We'll go take the thermal out and play with it again. I mean, why not? We've already had activity there. Let's go run for a year too.
Yeah, let's definitely hit that again. I think that'd be kind of fun to do. Get some more data, right?
Oh yeah.
And what was really cool about that is we actually got some bat data out there too, so we could rule out, the fact that these weren't bats because we could see the movement of bats, which is what one of the suggestions was.
One suggestion was that it was a bat. You're right, and then but you can clearly see the wings.
And that was Ben Hansen who thought it was possibly. He didn't say it was. He just said the only thing I could think of would be bats. And and even he said, I don't know what that is, guys. I'm like, me either.
So this is going back to Donna Ho's trailer encounter there, that camp trailer. He said, the most communication I ever had was, don't be afraid, we won't hurt you. And then I said, how did you get in here? But couldn't understand the answer. Wow. Probably because it was just like, we just were.
We just are. A lot of the times when you get those kind of communications as well, you have to remember that you're dealing with a translation.
We're going to be in Salt Fork, Ohio for Ohio Bigfoot Conference, May the 4th. If you're up there that Friday, give us a shout, let us know. And then Point Pleasant, West Virginia is where we're going to be doing the High Strangeness workshop.
Which is going to be a blast, guys.
And it'll be an entire day.
It's going
into the night.
Into the night, yeah.
Ashley said, I'll try to be at OBC this year. Absolutely.
What?
You better.
Really?
It's too fun not to.
It really is. I don't know why you're not there.
Deucer says, good night to my wild and weird family. Love y'all. Stay safe and keep your head on a swivel. You know it, brother.
See you out there, brother. If you haven't gone over there and Dewey, make sure you do. There's a link.
Yes.
On our page that goes to, I think, him and Jim and a few others. Just go over there and follow those guys. And Dewey's got some great books.
Lisa says, is it at Hawking Hills? No, it is not at Hawking Hills. It's actually in Salt Fork, Ohio, which is way closer, especially for you.
Yeah.
It's up around, it's in that neck of the woods where Wheeling, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio all kind of merge. So it's pretty close for you to make it out there. I think it's probably about the same distance for us it is as you. It's about 2-hour drive.
About 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. It's always a fun one. We always have fun out there.
Beth says, I want to go to Salt Fork too. You'd have a blast. You would have just as much fun there as you did at CryptidCon.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And what was really great about being at OVC last year was the fact that people were coming up and telling us their stories for the first time. And they were telling us some of the more weird aspects of their stories. And that was really refreshing, to be honest. So that was great.
It really was. It was refreshing. Because some of the folks were people who had been hardwalled the year prior.
Yeah.
And they came to us and they said, we thought about it and we have actually had these experiences, but we just didn't link them together. We didn't think that it had anything to do with it. And then our response was like, well, we're not sure it has anything to do with it either. We just know that it's happening.
Yeah, well, there's something there. And you're observing it just like everyone else is. So
Scott says it's about a 30-minute drive for me right now. Hey, dude, if you're still up there and you're still working those shifts up in up near Moundsville, dude, definitely cross over. Get over there with us, man.
Yeah, for sure. Man, let me check over here. I'll go check and see what we got going on. All the chats is looking good. Chat's looking real good. Yeah. There we go. I just updated. 43 likes. Wow.
Yeah. Blowing up, dude.
Way to go, guys.
Doing really good over there.
Thank you so much. So did we
this has been one of the highest viewed in the moment live shows we've ever had.
It was. Yep.
And with all the likes on the video going out, this is hopefully this is a trend that things are picking up and people are going to be paying more attention.
I really hope so, because I think it's important that we look at some of the stuff that we've brought up over the years. It's proven itself out over time. When we said this is going to happen, it happened. And we didn't do that through some kind of, Nostradamus type predictions. We did it by looking at trends. And these things are all going according to trends and according to patterns that have been used for years. What's Tommy going on about there?
Oh, Tommy said he'd like to have an event around here sometime, get a group together and have some fun looking into the unknown. We'll work it in there, man.
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. And we did get a comment there last week, which was really cool. This is from one of our viewers. This is the best paranormal cryptid show on YouTube.
Well, thank you, Michelle Hamilton, 8875.
We'll take that, Michelle. We'll take that. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And that was a really good, like I said, a really good episode. And I can't wait to see what you guys think about tomorrow night's episode. Hopefully that everything works.
Oh man, tomorrow night's fun.
You're going to have questions. Just remember that. So if something happens with the, everything and it goes down, just remember to ask those questions next Thursday. But we're going to be definitely talking about some time anomalies and whatnot. And it's really cool. I'll give you just a really quick heads up. Mike has been on Ancient Aliens. He's been on Gaia. He's been on the Gaia channel multiple times. Has his own web portal, basically, of experiencers where they all get together and talk about stuff. He is an experiencer, something that wasn't talked about on his Ancient Aliens episode, which was the shadow people. And he is an experiencer. He has seen shadow people. So it's very cool. It's a good episode. He talks a little bit about what these things could be, as well as apparitions and how that may all play into time travel and whatnot.
Ashely said, I wonder if it's the same Michelle Hamilton who's the curator for George Washington's mother's house. She's great.
Well,
that'd be neat.
Awesome. Wouldn't that be cool? Let me check over here. Brandon, what have you been busy doing? Have you found us anything? I know you've been scouring the news while we've been talking. So
not a whole lot. Just people reposting the same stuff and arguing
Okay.
with each other.
So nothing's new. We're all still. It's all good, right? No blows.
I've seen people actually. They're actually threatening Burkett for some reason.
Gosh,
What?
They're openly threatening him.
Well, this is not good.
Yeah.
Why?
I guess because of his stance on the whole thing.
Oh,
He won't say
man.
they're demons.
Burchett's another one you don't want to start threatening, man.
I wouldn't do that. I
He's
don't think people realize
Travis,
how Southerners work.
it's gloves on. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I don't think you guys realize how Southerners work. You
Yeah.
know? I mean,
It's also highly illegal to threaten a government official too. So.
Oh, that's true, but that takes the fun out of it. That's not how it works. But
Well, I mean, you got to remember he was. Yeah, I'm not even going to say it on the YouTube. It'll probably get us a strike.
No.
Something that Burchett said.
I saw someone sent him a picture of General Sherman and said, "Keep talking, Burchett."
Oh, wow.
What?
The crap is wrong with people. Look, guys, here's the thing. You're going to be allowed to have whatever opinion you want. I just want you all to understand that. I'm going to put this
And we love
out
you,
there right
regardless
now.
of opinions.
We don't care. We don't care. If you think that everything, for example, just because it's what we've been talking about, if you think everything is demon related, wonderful. We don't care. We don't, we're not going to unsubscribe to you because you think differently than us. We don't care. It doesn't matter.
I did it.
What?
Lisa, or not
Demon?
Brandy. Brandy.
Oh,
I
Brandon?
threw out a possible demon possum pic on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
I already love it. I haven't seen it yet, but I already love it.
I'm sure yeah, that's awesome.
Tony, it's demons all the way down.
Yeah.
And guys, if y'all missed last week's live with Tony Breeden, that was a fun one too.
Oh yes, it was. It was very.
It's
Pancakes
always
all the
fun
way
having
down.
Tony.
Mm,
Go
it
ahead,
was-
Brandon. What was that?
So it's also pancakes all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, yeah, you're entitled to have, your own opinions. And that's how discourse works. And I think we need to bring that back in America, in the world in general. It's okay to disagree with people and still sit at the table with them and break bread. That's the way I see it.
Ashley says, I love people who have opposing ideas from my own. I can learn from them. Exactly.
What you just said, you might give me something to think about, but the only way I'm going to think is if I'm not, 100%, into this camp or that camp, and I put all my eggs into that basket. I don't do that, and I just don't think it's right. I think we should definitely keep an open mind. And I love some of these guys who become researchers. Some of these people, like the guy I was reading about earlier to you, the old Missler, and he said when he started, researching the phenomena, he was going to some of these events, as you do. They invite you to come out and speak at these things, and he was speaking at them, and he got a couple people come up to him and tell him about their experience, and they were talking about contact type experiences. And he said real quick he had to just put all the disbelief aside because he kept hearing so much, and so much of it was just matching up. Again, like I'm saying, something's going on. And if you sit there and you pick one of these Kirkpatrick Saganistic views, as Taylor would say, and say, well, it's got to be this because that's just too ridiculous, then you're doing yourself a discredit. So if we can just sit down, throw everything around like we do, throw it on the table, look at it, and be like, well, that makes sense, or that's probably not it, and have a discussion as to why it is or is not it, we might become a little closer to find out what's going on.
Yeah, Tommy's got it right here. There, Beth asked what a hillbilly was and where that name came from because they've been like hillbilly chatting over there. talk about hillbillies going to Australia for Australia Day. But yeah, it was a Scottish. It came from the hill folk in Scotland, and then Billy, which meant friend, or like a buddy. So it's like, you know, your hill friends, your people who live out in the woods and friendly folk.
The hill folk.
They also called us Highlanders before that.
There can be only one, Brandon.
You're remaking that movie?
I did.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome.
I
Have
did
you seen who's playing the Highlander?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be old Soups, the guy that can't think of his name. Yeah, Geralt of Rivia. What is his name?
Oh no! Now you've turned it into a trick.
You guys out there in the chat, you're probably going to be wanting it to rain that guy later. So what? Lisa, and D. Who was it? I know y'all will know.
Henry Cavill.
All right, I got one. Brandon, I'm throwing it in there for you. Brandon just sent this one over.
What we got?
So, replying to UAP James, is it me or does Burchett seem spooked? I wonder if he's had reprisals. And he says, I have, but I'm not spooked.
I have, but I'm not spooked.
I like that one.
Oh, he kills me.
Just going through his responses is pretty entertaining.
He's just an incredible person. You know, when all this blows over, we're gonna have to get him on the show one day. That's all I can say. I'd like to just sit down and have him unleash.
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
Saved you guys from some hurricane force winds there.
That is fantastic too. So yeah, we've had a
Superman is the Highlander. It seems a tad unfair to the other immortals. Just a smidge.
little bit. So we've had some interesting posts popping up over on the board. I wanted to address as well today.
Yeah, we got to do this at least once a year.
So I'm going to address that real quick for you guys because you're all here. So when you share your stuff on our page, it goes up. We actually approve stuff.
Yep.
Or we don't approve it. And that's how we keep our page.
The only 3 people that are 4, because I added Brandon in there, I think, not too long ago. Yeah. But it's Dave Roberts, Ron, myself, and Brandon. That's it.
Yeah, we can approve stuff. And we do, as long as it's not something that's,
spammy or dumb.
Yeah, spammy or something like that. Now, every now and again, you might see somebody selling something. Understand, when you do see that, those people have supported us. So again, it goes back to support. When you support us, we support you. See how it works? But when you come over and you want to share, say, your podcast or your brand new idea, which probably...
brand new.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably not going to happen. Because
especially when you basically Photoshop Express ripped off something that I did, like the picture and everything, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I'm just saying it's probably not going to happen because you don't know how it goes. And we do suggest please read the rules and whatnot. We're as fair as we can be, but we learned back in the day that people love to just grab onto your coattails, and then they like to emulate you at some point in the future and then try to be you. Here's the thing. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying anything derogatory to anyone. If you have an original idea, please run with it. Have fun. Do your thing. If you think for 1 minute, though, that anything that you are going to do is going to affect us, it is not. We have an incredible support system and family, and we couldn't be happier with these people. You just have no idea. And I do hope that one day you have the same, because once you do, you'll understand this. I've had multiple people who have come to understand exactly what I'm saying. And they come up and check my hand years later and say, you're absolutely right. I should have listened to you. Yes, you should have. Because this is much like a business. The only difference is we want to make sure that it's not so much getting paid as it is to getting out there and getting the message. And the message is that we do this because we feel that we need to. We do this not because we're some kind of, I don't know, I guess we are kind of emissaries, aren't we? Like we said, we're kind of the ambassadors of the paranormal, but we came up with that term.
Yep.
And that kind of pretty much defines who we are and what we are, because we go out there and we meet people, we shake hands, we end up in these documentaries and whatnot, trying to tell, these stories. But the whole thing is we're actually interested in this. We're not just interested in it. We are experiencers. We have witnessed it. We have seen it, and we know. And we have seen people come to our table with their heads down and say, I couldn't tell my family this. And we said, but you can. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong about this. You had a human experience that people choose to ignore for some reason because of belief systems, et cetera, et cetera. That is our mission. That is our goal. And if we can get out there and actually help some of these states understand, well, you might want to do that. Paranatourism is a good thing too. You'd be surprised how many people you can reach at those kind of events, right?
Yeah, because it's one of these things that, we've helped other people with in the past. We're not opposed to it. It'll come in and lean on us. I've got 2 business degrees. Feel free to ask away for business ideas and stuff of that nature. But now D says, are you guys talking about your Facebook page? Yes, it is over on the group Facebook page, the Wild and Weird Paranormal Talk, which is the page that we started back in 2017. And at least once or twice a year, people will use a ripoff of our name and try to make a post, or make a flyer and use a spin-off of our name. And it normally doesn't go well.
One guy was trying to use Weird and Wild for a while.
Yeah.
It turned out to be okay though. It was all good.
Yeah, that worked out fine.
We had these conversations with them at the end, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
The only ones who got really butthurt were this one group that said something about having all things wild and weird.
Yeah, but the whole point is, what you don't understand is that's not just it's not a word. That is an LLC. That is a business.
Yeah,
you pay for that.
In our state, we own the trademark on it.
That is a registered business trademark in West Virginia. So, I know, and they're like, "Oh no, you're a business. You're not really into this." No, we're a business because we have to be legally to go do our shows that we do.
Yep.
Because we've been there
to get the insurance, to get the bingo, things worked out, to be able to do what we do safely, legally. Yes. We have to have that business entity there.
Yep, you got to do that. That's
otherwise nobody's going to want to give you the insurance. Nobody's going to want to do the negotiations and all the business aspect of it.
No, and this stuff's not cheap. So. So I just wanted to address that real quick. If you see things like, Wild and Weird, make sure it's really us.
Yeah.
Make sure that's really us. And it'll have our little logo. It'll have our little seal on there.
That logo that you see
right
down there,
right
that
there.
golden seal, that if it's really seal. Us, it's going to have that on it. That's it.
It'll have that, or it'll say Wild and Weird Radio. It's one of the two.
Yep. If it's something that I've posted, it won't have that because I don't have that on my computer.
You will. I'm going to make sure all of you have that.
Okay.
As a PNG, you can slap that on anything.
But yeah, but for real, normally if it's something from me, it's gonna be directly from me, but it'll say Wild and Weird WV or Wild and Weird West Virginia, or just say Wild and Weird.
I think people know you enough at this point.
Right. Exactly. And then all the official marketing from our stuff is going to have that sigil, and it's going to have the same goes for Wild and Weird Radio, which nobody's really tread into that water. It's just
it's kind of hard to say,
So sorry to get out on that tangent. We know that that's not anything that's really uber pertinent to you guys, but for the record, we had to get it out there.
Yeah.
Again.
Ashley
said, "Yeah, my friend got requested by Joe's clone." Yeah.
Doppelganger.
That happens.
Joe.
So yeah, you guys are y'all are awesome. You guys, it's been a fun show tonight. You guys have had a ton of.
Boy, I know. It's absolutely been a blast. I had so much fun. D, me too. My throat is about gone at this point. I think Spooky asked me, he's like, "Are you gonna be able to do the live?" I said, "Son, the show's got to go on. That's just not how it works." Back in the day when we had, to play, the show went on. That's just how it is. I mean,
and plus, if there's ever anything that happens where Ron can't make it, I'm always
going
home.
on. There's 3 of us. The show's going on.
Me and Brandon will hop it. We've done it before.
You did it before.
Me and Brandon ran the lives.
You did it once at the beach.
Yep.
And that's where the whole thing came up with. You guys were,
Yeah, that was the paranormal workshop. That's where that got thrown in and evolved into going to Point Pleasant.
Michael, let's do it.
Also, when you got to see baby sea turtles.
It was a magical night.
Ashely said, I asked if he had star jelly, and when he said no, I knew it was an imposter.
That's the test.
That's there. A good test.
That's a good test, Ashely.
The Men in Black said, if it's from us, it will sound smarter than you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How many shows get trolled by the Men in Black? Not very many.
Right?
Not very many.
Honestly, I swear, the Men in Black is basically the 4th host of the show. It's great.
Yeah, it is. They need their own spot. I'm almost willing to reach out to the Men in Black and give them their own spot.
I know, right? Create the segment.
Yep, create the segment. Exactly.
This week with the Men in Black.
Yeah, you saw nothing.
you know
Next
nothing.
Week.
It goes away.
Next week, you know nothing.
Oh, man. Oh, you guys are fun. You guys, I'm glad you all have had a good time. Ron, do you have anything else? Because
I do.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Here's I'm gonna throw this out there. Bigfoot Littlefoot said Circle like an hour and a half ago that Circle was going to be the first card pulled.
Okay.
An hour and a half ago.
Okay, so you guys know how this works then. Most of you.
Kelly said, I thought Spooky was the 4th host or Pat. I mean,
I don't know. They're kind of like
they're kind of
pinky in the brain kind of thing, going on. I think that's what that is.
We love you guys. Pat, yeah, Pat's the star. That's right. Pat is the star of the show. Without Pat, the show wouldn't be going.
Does that make him Patrick Star?
Why is Angie saying triangle? Angie, no, not even an option.
It's not even an option.
Wavy lines, circle, square, star, or the plus sign. Those are your options. Try again.
Oh, Kelly said the star, the card is a star.
I know what Kelly was saying. I was just waiting till you figured it out. Oh, Tony.
All right. We've got Tony's a trapezoid. Angie is now, Julie Bug says square. Angie says plus. Adam says, I see who have all forsaken me. The dodecahedron.
There you go. Now, we're not making a special set just for you guys.
Pat's, look at me. I'm the star now.
Are we ready to reveal?
All right, we're ready. Let's do it. I think we got about everybody.
Okay. So,
square.
Who said square?
Who? I'm going through.
I got one right.
Did you get one right?
So we've got 1
rhombus.
2.
You're a rhombus, Jen.
So only 2 got square.
Ooh, squares are unpopular, just like they were in the 50s.
And that was counting Brandon.
No one got that. I'm so
sad. It was Julie Bug and Brandon.
Not a one of you got that. That's aggravating.
Oh, Jen got it too.
Oh.
And Pat said square just before you pulled.
Oh.
So we wound up with 4.
Woo! That's awesome. Well, folks, again, remember, tune into old spooky Appalachia tomorrow evening at 7:15, and then stick around and dial your channel over to Wild and Weird Radio at 8, and we're going to be talking about time travel and time travel anomalies. And what did we talk about? We talked about everything, didn't we? I mean, it was like shadow beings, out of body experiences, like time slips. Yeah, wrong.
It's going to be a fun show. Bump, 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 ba-na-na-na.
I swear. Why do I do these things? Especially when I feel like this. I don't know. What? My internet crashed.
Chris says Point Pleasant, West Virginia is definitely awesome. Y'all need to eat at Hillbilly Hot Dogs nearby and drink Mothman IPA from Greenbrier actually closed down. So they're not a thing anymore. So the Mothman IPA is defunct. And that's like a 4-hour drive from Point Pleasant. But then the hot dogs, my hot dogs are going to smoke Hillbilly Hot Dogs that day.
Dude, so. you ain't had a hot dog until you had Joe's hot dog, especially with the Indrid coleslaws.
Oh yeah.
Say about that.
Anyone watched the Sean Ryan show? It's cool. He interviewed Dr. Greer a few months ago. I have not had to check that out.
No, I didn't. What in the world?
What?
I don't know. Something just snapped. Was that you, Brandon?
No, it wasn't me. I heard the snap come through the speaker.
It's Brandon doing something dumb.
Yeah, it was something on my desk.
Dang it, Brandon. We're live. How can we have a quality show that makes money when you're doing stupid stuff like that? God.
ADHD, okay?
I swear I'm going to have to
I feel your pain, my man.
Getting a new host. That's all.
If I wasn't over here riding the comments, it's hard to tell what kind of disastrous things I would do.
I've also been playing with a ratchet all night. So
that's what that.
Larry said, "Hot dogs so good they'll knock down trees."
Knew that's what that was.
Ashely said Brandon was spanking himself.
Well,
you just never know anymore. Hot dogs.
Angie says, please not May 24th. That's great. No, it won't be graduation weekend. It'll be middle of May to, it's either going to be the second weekend of May or one of the last 2 weekends in April. Because we can't do the first weekend.
Yeah, one of the weekends I'm gone, right? Something, I don't know. I don't remember. I know.
I just got to hear back from her. Hopefully she lets me know tomorrow. If she hadn't messaged me by tomorrow, I'm just going to call him tomorrow afternoon. We'll get it nailed down.
I know I'm off chasing an eclipse is all I know at some point this year. So that'll be fun.
Brandy says, no full moon gazing for me. Can't see it. Yep. We're in the same boat here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's pitch black.
Out of the question. It's just, I don't think it's out there. I think it's, they forgot to turn on the projector tonight. I think, Brandy. So the moon's not real. It's just a projection. That's what a friend of mine told me anyway.
Yeah, I think that giant screen that they use for imaging, I think it's broken.
You know what, though? If I had my projector, I bet I could project onto that fog. It's so thick. I can make some really cool conspiracy theories tonight.
And one time, there was a festival going on in St. Albans, and I lived in Dunbar, and the lights they were shining up into the sky were getting bounced through the clouds over Dunbar, and it looked just like UFOs were zigzagging all across the sky.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah.
So you know that weird phenomena that was actually pictured in several places when it was really, really, really cold this past week?
Yeah, the
pillars, light posts.
Light pillars. I never get to see light pillars.
Yeah. Dude, we actually had it in our neighborhood that night because the street lamps, the way our street lamps are made, they shoot light vertically too, and it was eerie.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
It was just so I tried taking a picture of it, but it just didn't turn out because there's too much haze in the air too. But with the eyes, you could see it really well.
Brandy, pay attention. When is the workshop? We don't know yet. We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, Brandy, when is the workshop? I was supposed to have had the date for you today, but she didn't email me back in time, so I'm going to try to get it tomorrow.
It's Joe's fault, Brandy.
Yep.
Just remember, it's Joe's fault.
I tried to get. We were supposed to have it last week, but I didn't get out of my house either last week because all the snow.
No one's getting out of their house.
Last week was just a mess, but
We ended up with like 6 inches over here.
Past this, I was in a Taco Bell parking lot for the last eclipse. Ron's going to be prime seating for this next one. I was in a Rite Aid parking lot for the last one with a welder's mask.
I'm going to try to actually have a really cool scope out there and get some good photos as well of it. So we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be fun. And then we're going to go dig some crystals while we're out that way. So it'll be a blast.
Oh, Lana Cat's here. What's up?
Lana Cat?
It said, speaking of April, now she's asking about all the eclipse watching. West Virginia will probably have clouds, but we're also not in like the best viewing range for it.
I will be in Arkansas. I'm chasing this thing down.
It's like Central Ohio will have a great view of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get to the maximum or close to maximum totality if we can, so I can get some good shots. And I'm probably going to summon down the sky beings and from, in the eclipse.
The golden ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
No workshop disclosure tonight. Mission accomplished.
Workshop disclosure. I love it.
Oh, Ashely said the schools are shutting down for it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably because the traffic is going to be so absurd. All those places that were in the totality zones were like swamped with humans last time that they had this back in 2018. Yeah, everybody wants to know when the workshop is, but no one cares how is the workshop.
Oh, that's great. That's a winning one right there. That is a winning one.
Canton will be in the totality, probably the best for anyone from West Virginia if the skies are clear. Yeah, Canton is in totality zone.
Yep, they are. Who said they never watched The Legend of Boggy Creek?
Beth. That's a classic. You got to catch that one.
Yeah, you got to watch that. It's good. Good stuff.
Angie's making plans now. Angie says, Ashely, are you in totality? Yeah, up there, I think where Ashely lives, she should
Columbus is that area.
I've been making plans for about 4 years for this one, so we're going to see. Hope for the weather. That's all I can say. Hope the weather.
Party at Ashely's house.
Right. Oh, and wonderful. Thanks to you, wonderful folks. This episode is going to go up right after this into stream, and it'll be free for everyone. So it should be commercial free. At least it will be on our end. If anybody makes
yeah, they'll still throw commercials in.
They'll throw some stuff in, but there won't be anything big. Can we camp in your yard? Hey, I found a way to make you some money, Ashely.
There you go. Sell some yard by the foot.
Yep. That's what you do. See, we got you covered, girl. If it's free, it's for me. Well, you're here. It was obviously free for you, regardless.
Angie, can we camp in your yard? Locally, we'll be selling parking in the yards for events.
Oh,
yeah, you guys have fun with that. I mean, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. I'm going to be holding down the fort here. I've got weddings that weekend and good times. I got to cater, feeding hundreds of people.
That's always fun.
Wow. CJ said he was signaling the aliens in and the demons to come.
Ho, 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 ho. Funny. That's funny.
Beth said, this weather's killing me. I want to be out investigating. When will it end? It's supposed to rain till Sunday.
Yeah.
For our region. if you're in Appalachia, you're getting rain all the way through Sunday.
Well, you got some good track stuff up there, Beth. So go
Oh,
over
yeah.
and look around. That's when we always did better, was right after rain. I was just thinking about that today, as foggy as it was. Like, man, this would be a good day to get out there and film. Well, Anita, you just keep that snow when it comes your way, okay? You can have that. You can have it. You can have it all. Everybody send Anita your snow. It'll make her happy. I'm in Camp Spring right there. I agree with you, Beth.
So I just sent you guys a picture just now. Apparently, there's like this meme going around that people are setting as their profile picture that says "I stand with David Crush."
Oh my!
There's like a ton of people who have that as their avatar right
See,
now.
it's turned into exactly what we said: a divisive ploy, either on purpose or not. Oh my gosh! Seriously,
There it is, guys.
He even has his own ribbon.
Yep.
I want a ribbon. We need a ribbon. I need a ribbon.
If they ever made me a ribbon, it'd be brown.
Yep.
Brown and hairy.
Yeah. Men in Black, the Scott jellies were bloated. Now they're relieving themselves. Enjoy all the rain.
The rain.
I think it was Men in Black last week that posted the one about the snow, saying that the snow was the alien aircrafts emptying their refuse.
They call those Boeing bombs.
All right, let me check where we're at here.
Oh man. Well, guys, things seem to be winding down. Anything else from either of you guys?
Hang on a second.
No, nothing to report, Ron.
Hang on a second. Yeah, I have something to report. We are now at 1,668, so we've gone up 8 in this episode alone.
Awesome.
So
thank you guys for subscribing. You guys,
fantastic.
You guys are what keep things rolling and keep things free. It's just, we couldn't do it without you guys. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel for even more content beyond Wild and Weird Radio Live. We have a weekly podcast that shows up every Friday. We've also got investigation videos that will be going up once everything gets put back in place and back in order. We'll have all that for you guys, and
secret projects coming up. You're gonna want to be watching. That's all.
The secret projects are gonna be a trip, y'all. Everybody's gonna lose it.
You folks who are here right now who've backed us.
Yep.
You're gonna figure out real soon that you backed the right team.
Yep.
That's all I can say about that. Because no good deed goes unanswered.
So, if you guys have not yet, remember, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button like it owes you money, and tell your friends about Wild and Weird Radio. Tell your friends about the YouTube channel. If they're remotely into Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, anything high strangeness, let them know to go check out Wild and Weird WV on YouTube. They've got all kinds of crazy videos up there, all kinds of good stuff. We've been out, we've done investigations. I'm hearing again that the Bigfoot community is rumbling with the thermal footage.
Can I say something right now? Because I thought that this was an error for a second, but it's not. When I've said before that you've broke the record on chats, you did. You broke the record. But did I think that we would go this far? No. We have a total chat message count as of right now, 1,033.
What? Wow.
Nice.
That is an all-time high. If that's any indicator as to where we're going with this, good things are coming for everybody. Trust me.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thanks for keeping the conversation rolling. Thank you for, there you go. Pat says ribbons for Ron. And so the local chapter of the Grush Davidians begins.
What was
Tony-
the previous record?
Tony, you prophesied that one in.
What Ashley said was the previous record. It was 775, I believe, is where we were sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley says it's an important year, friends. Just keep chipping away at it. Yep.
Same. You too.
Yep. Same to you. Men in Black says, wait, we're helping them?
We're helping each other.
Oh, man.
That's how it works, Men in Black. We help
That's
each
right.
other. If we can, we can
Somebody's
help
got to
each
have y'all's back.
Hey, some of the things the Men in Black are doing, I'm with. I'm sorry. I just am. Because the people can't handle the truth, No, I'm kidding. Sort of.
So back to the rundown.
Yeah.
If you've had a sighting that you would like to report, head on over to wildandweirdwv.com. Click the Report a Sightings tab. You'll be able to get in touch with us that way. We will review your report. We will get back in touch with you. And if you're outside of our immediate investigation zone, we'll be able to get a researcher boots on the ground into your area to help you. They will do their due diligence. We promise you that, because everybody that we work with, everybody who is partnered with the collective is someone that we would trust to go out and investigate with us. And many of them
Except
have.
Adam. Except Adam.
Except Adam Good.
Adam Good.
And then if you would like to continue to support Wild and Weird Radio, all you got to do is go back. You can watch more stuff, share some of these videos with friends who, if you're just sitting there at work and you're having a conversation and they slightly bring up any kind of interest in what's going on in the media with the UFO stuff, say, hey, these guys actually will, help you out. They go listen to this. It's some really good information. Anita says, I want to be in the collective when I grow up. Oh man, Anita, hush. And Ashley said, never go into the woods alone with Adam Good. He is the cryptid in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh man. But then if you want to, if you're listening to us over in Radio Land, we thank you guys for jumping over here to the Wild and Weird Radio live segments. We appreciate all you guys that do the crossover with us. And remember, for everybody who is listening both on YouTube and to the audio portions of our show, if you guys have Google Podcast, anybody out there in center audience has Google Podcast, it's going away in March. Google Podcast is merging into YouTube Music. So now you're going to be able to play all your favorite podcasts through YouTube Music. So make sure
that mean we can release our record now.
Yeah, right. So if you're using Google Podcast now, go ahead and make an early migration and subscribe to Wild and Weird Radio over on YouTube Music. I got the listing up for that not too long ago. So y'all are good.
It's just funny. I have to put it up there.
Stand with David Crush.
It's just hilarious that it's come to this. Makes me laugh. Humans are funny.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Million things to something grow and play with. Man, I wish we had Toys R Us back. That'd be amazing. All collectors would rejoice.
I heard they were reopening it small.
They've opened a few physical stores. Like I think one of them's in Texas and one of them's up in the Mall of America. But they're like KB Toys. They're not like big departments anymore. It's just like a mall insert.
Depressing.
But guys, thank you all. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. It's been an awesome live show. We really do look forward to this show every single week. It is our weekly pick me up and gets us motivated to get back out there and do some stuff and get out here and talk to you all, because that's really when we thrive, is when we're able to hang out with you guys and we get a whole lot of energizing just from spending time with you guys. Even though we're not in person and you're just here in the chat, you guys really do make all the difference in our weeks. And
I'm not kidding. Like I felt like crap yesterday. Still kind of felt like crap today, but during the show, man, that's energy, and that helps. Believe me. So yeah, huge thanks.
Your species is occasionally amusing, unintentionally, of course.
Yeah, they amuse themselves to death. That's what they do.
But guys, thank you very much. And until the next week, remember, if you go onto Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and you start seeing essentially fisticuffs in the UFO topic, don't be surprised. But also, probably wouldn't be the best to mess with Travis Taylor. I just don't recommend it.
Wouldn't do that.
Stay wild and weird, everybody.